Hi everybody, I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Pat Kaplan here with a very quick update in the tropics. That's good news. I mean, we like quick updates as we get towards the peak of hurricane season. It means there's not much going on. The only system that we are following still is Tropical Storm Faranon. As of the 4 p.m. advisory, 50-mile-per-hour tropical storm. It's out here in the middle of the Atlantic. And that's it. There are no other waves out there that we are keeping an eye on. There's no other potential development, at least in the near term. However, as we look ahead towards the peak of hurricane season, this is where things may start to become more active again. So it's very typical for us to get tropical development here in what's known as the main development region of the Atlantic. That is the space here in the Atlantic Ocean that runs between the Lesser Antilles and the Caribbean and West Africa. So in this general zone here, we generally see a lot of development during the months of August and September. It's known as the Cape Verde season for the Cape Verde Islands here off the west coast of Africa. And sure enough, even though things are quiet right now, they will probably start to ramp up again as we get towards the middle of September. So September's 10th to the 16th, in that window, we're looking for the potential to see some sort of development out here. Now, that doesn't mean that we're going to get a hurricane developing or that something will make it all the way to the United States, but that's just probably when things will start to pick up again. This is typical. What's not typical is this area, the southern Gulf of Mexico into the western Caribbean. Now that's an area where we may have to look at for some development as we get into that time frame as well. Notice it's just that pale orange color, so it's a low probability for development, not a higher probability like out in the main development region. But still, we'll have to keep an eye on something because anytime this area is highlighted, we really have to kind of hone in because things can get very sneaky down here. And of course, with it being closer to home, it doesn't give us a lot of time to react. So those are the two spots that we will be watching for as we get into the middle of September. The rest of this month, though, the few days that are left, it's going to be quiet. So what this map is showing is vorticity, which is a fancy weather word for spin. So basically, anytime you see a concentrated ball of red color on this map, that indicates a concentrated area of spin, again, or vorticity. Those concentrated areas of spin are basically tropical systems trying to form. Remember, tropical storms, hurricanes, they're all big spinning storms. So we're looking for that on the map. We don't see anything here towards the end of August. But watch as we get into September what happens, especially off the west coast of Africa. We've got 1, 2, 3 potential areas of spin, 3 tropical waves that will be moving off of Africa and into the open Atlantic. So it's very typical during the monsoonal season here in Africa, which is what we're in right now, to get these clusters of storms forming. Well, once they get over the tropical Atlantic, if the conditions are favorable, they will try to make a run at developing into something. And that may be the case here as we get towards, notice the date, September 6th. So within that window of the first and second week of September is when we'll have to start paying more attention to what's happening out in the Atlantic. Just a great reminder, though, as we get into the peak of the season to stay on top of the forecast. So it's August 27th today. We are almost at the peak of the season. The climatological or historical peak, which is when we see the most amount of activity, which is September 10th. It's a range though, right? So even though the actual peak is September 10th, pretty much from now through mid-October is when we see 2/3 of all hurricane activity during the season. So just a good reminder that while there's nothing out there right now, 1, all it takes is a single storm, and 2, things can pop up pretty quick. So stay on top of the forecast daily. We keep doing these here every night at 8 p.m. just to keep you informed. Sometimes they're shorter updates, other times they're longer ones. Thankfully, tonight is shorter because there's not a whole lot happening. But again, stay on top of the forecast here and make sure that you are staying on top of your family and their plan in case something were to pop up. That's a look at your tropical update for today, Wednesday, August 27th. We're going to have more on your forecast coming up tonight on the KHOU 11 News at 10 o'clock. Hope to see you then.